So what is this, guys? It is the very old iPhone 3GS. Do you remember these devices? This one has been released 7 years ago. Can you believe that? 2009 June to be precise. So pretty much 7 years from now this has been released. I can't believe that this phone is 7 years old and is still working, and it's actually a pretty good device. I wanted to show you and to just let you know how I've been using this phone for the last couple of years, and to answer the question, is it usable still today? When we have smartphones that cost a fortune, when we have most smartphones with display sizes starting from 4.5 inches. And just to talk a little bit about the iPhone. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest iPhone fan anymore. When I got this phone, which was in 2011, so more than 2 years after it has been released, I was a big fan of iPhone and Apple in general, and I really loved this phone. It wasn't the latest one out there. There were already the iPhone 4 models out, and I was a bit behind and when I got this one, but still I loved it. It is one of those iPhones with a really nice curved edge. So I don't know if you guys remember it, but at that time this was a pretty cool shape. It also has a really good camera. I was impressed with that. Although the speed, honestly guys, the speed of this device was driving me crazy. This is one of the reasons why I switched to Android, and I had also a stint with Windows Mobile. So honestly, the only thing that I can say against Apple and this phone is I hate how slow it was. Everything was taking ages to load, and it was just driving me crazy when I wanted to do things quickly. I couldn't do it. I just had to wait and wait, and it was just insane how long everything was taking. So let's remind you a little bit about this phone. This one has, in my case, 8 GB of storage. It has 256 megabytes of RAM. So that's pretty awful for nowadays standards. But saying that, 7 years ago, this was a top-notch phone. This was amazing. Let's just think about it. Back then, nothing was out there in terms of Samsung. To be honest, there was no real competition. There were a couple of other amazing phones like Sony and HTC were coming out just then and there, and it was good to have at this time of at this period of time an iPhone 3GS. The iPhone 4 came the same year that I got this one, which was also a great success. And we can say that, Apple were quite consistent and they were growing, and they still are the biggest seller out there. So, yeah, when it comes to phones and hardware, these guys are doing their job greatly. I was actually really shocked to find out that this phone is still working absolutely fine in terms of it does everything you expect it to do. Um, Obviously, a little bit slower than you would expect from a phone that is released this year or last year, but it's doing its job quite well. I've backed it up and I've reset it. Cleaned up all the data on it just a couple of days ago, and it's been a while. It's been probably around 2 years since I've actively used this phone. So, or probably 3 years. Yeah, 3 years since I've used it. It was switched off. There is no SIM card, as you can probably tell. But this little guy is still working pretty fantastically. I have to remind you, it has 3.5 inches display. For me, it looks very small. Even in my hand now, it looks so small, and I'm thinking, oh my god, how I've used this. But actually, when you get used to it, when you go back to it, it's not too bad. It actually works pretty good. I'll show you guys in the settings menu. Yeah, things take a while to load, but after they load, you can see that everything is connected. Okay, we have the Bluetooth on, we have Wi-Fi on. I have all my general settings here. I have an option to check for a software update, but you know, the news is this no longer okay, it's not connected to the internet properly, but the news is this phone is not supporting newer iOS versions. So this one is has been upgraded to iOS 6.16, if I'm not mistaken, and it's working pretty good, guys. I am pretty surprised that this phone actually works, and it's still a very nice device. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but 7 years on, the iPhone 3GS works like it should be. It's great. I love it, to be honest. I'm quite impressed. I'm not the biggest fan now of the App Store and their policy of getting your credit card details and all that stuff, and that everything is connected, but in a way it's good, because everything stays in one place, and you know, everything is synchronized and backed up. And as we know, Android is doing the same with the Google accounts, Windows is doing the same with their OneDrive and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm very happy, guys. I have all my apps here. Everything is as set up as I did that ages ago. I was really surprised that I still have everything organized and set it up here. Although I've reset the phone, everything has been saved and it's working like a charm. I'm very pleased with that. So let me know, guys, if you are still keeping one of those devices, really old ones. Let me know what phone was the one that got you into smartphones. What changed your mind, if you have switched from an Android phone to iPhone, or the vice versa. So yeah, it would be interesting to hear from you guys, your experiences. I will be really curious to find out. Just a short answer to the question: is the iPhone 3GS working 7 years on as it should be? Yes, it is. Thumbs up for Apple and iPhone. I really love the fact that the phone is still usable, and if I have a spare SIM card, I can always pop it in and I can have a workable, very good smartphone in my hands. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.